Hey guys, welcome back to Rather Be Visin. My name is Sam, and today we're going to be looking at a question that I get asked very commonly, which is, do I use a live connection or do I use an extract? So if you've ever made your way over to the data source tab within Tableau, up in towards the top right here, you'll see you have the option of a live connection and an extract connection. Now, depending on which one you pick will depend on how Tableau connects to your data. If you pick a live connection, then it will connect live directly to your data. And the speed of performance of your dashboard will be based upon the speed of the database or the data source that you're connecting to. So if you're connecting to a data source like an Excel that's saved on your local drive, that will be quicker than if you're connecting to something maybe on GCP, which will have a level of inherent lag built in already. An extract, as the name suggests, creates an extract of your data source and it puts it into a file format that Tableau can read really quickly and render your views extremely quickly. So let's have a look at how Tableau processes data to begin with and then understand exactly what an extract does. So here we have our dashboard in Tableau, and what's going to happen for each of the charts that we have within this view, it's going to fire off a query to the data source in order to build that. So we can see for these 6 charts we've got here, it's going to fire off a single query for each chart to the data source, get the relevant data and bring it back in order to render the view. So here's an analogy for you. Imagine that you want to make a recipe. So here you are. And the recipe that you want to make is actually in French. You know what you want to end up with, but the instructions that you've got in order to make it are in a different language. So you need to have another step in here where you translate that recipe in order to make the meal that you want to make. That's essentially what's happening when you're using a live connection. Tableau knows the data that it needs to see, but it needs to process all of the information from the data source in order to build out those views, which can cause slower rendering times. That's not to say that using a live connection is ever wrong. Both live connections and extracts both have their place. If you're working with a data set that maybe sits within Excel and isn't too large and is updated pretty frequently, then you might want to keep the live connection. But if you're using a data set that is quite large and is updated maybe once a day or once a week, then you should definitely think about moving to an extract, because then you'll be able to improve the performance of your dashboards. So let's hop into Tableau and have a look at how you would set up that extract. Okay, so here we are in Tableau. I've got a very simple dashboard here. Let's have a look at the performance of my EU Superstore. So firstly, we've got our yearly sales. We've then got our sales by country, and we've also got our subcategory sales. Now the EU Superstore dataset is only 10,000 rows, so it's very quick no matter whether we have it set up as a live connection or as an extract. But it is a really good dataset to show you how you can set up an extract and apply filters to it in order to make your dashboard run a bit quicker. So if I come to the data source tab, you can see at the moment I've got this set as a live connection. I'm going to switch this over to an extract, and you'll see at the moment my extract is going to contain all of my data. If I come up into edit, here is where we can configure our extract in order to contain just the information that we need. So we can apply some filters. We can see it's optional. If you don't want to apply any filters, you don't have to. Moving just from a live connection to an extract will straight away make your dashboards faster, because the extract will be in Tableau's file format that it can read a lot quicker. So if we think about that analogy we saw previously, rather than our recipe being in French, when creating an extract, it's already in English, so we can already read it straight away and we don't have to take that extra step in order to translate it into what we need to see. If we do want to apply a filter, all we need to do is select Add. I could come in here and I could say country region, and I want to just have a look at maybe Germany, France, the UK and Denmark. And if I click OK on that, we can see we now have got that filter and it's keeping 4 of those 15 members. We could also maybe add another one, and we might only want to have a look at order dates that are from particular years. So we might just want to have a look at the last 2 years. And if we click OK on that, we can see it's now going to keep 2022 and 2023. Also within the extract, you're able to choose the aggregation. So you could aggregate your data up, which again is going to have it less granular, so there's less data for Tableau to pour through when it's coming to render your visualizations. And then finally, you have the number of rows you want to include in the extract. So it's going to default to all rows, but you can set it up to be an incremental refresh as well. So if we have a table where we're putting in new data and we want to just pull through the new rows each time we refresh this extract, we can do that. We can pick the table and we can say the order date, and we can say whenever there's a new order date, I just want to extract those additional rows of data into my extract. You can also choose to do just the top X number of rows, and also you can do a sample, which is good if you're testing out how your dashboard looks and you just want some sample data in there rather than pulling through the entire data source. So if I click OK on that now, you'll see my extract will now contain a subset of data. So previously this said extract will contain all data, now extract will contain a subset of data. And if we come to one of our tabs here, see, because we've now got it as an extract and we just picked those 4 countries, they're all that we've got coming through. And if we have a look in our data pane up the top here, we can see this little icon here where we've got the 2 cylinders to indicate a database and we've got an arrow coming between them. That means that it's an extract. So if you see that icon, you can tell that the dashboard of the workbook is connected to an extract. If we come over to our performance tab, we can see we've just got those 4 countries and we've just got the 2 years that we picked. Now, if we want to edit the extract, if we maybe want to pull through 2021, that's very easy to do. We can come back over to the data source tab, we can edit our extract, and we can say, actually, my year of order date, I want to include 2021 as well. Click on OK. And then when we come over to our dashboard, we'll be able to see that now we've got 2021. And once you've created the extract, you can publish this onto the server and you can connect other workbooks to it, and they will all get the benefit of using the extract versus the live connection. And of course, if you want to switch back to using a live connection, it's very simple to do. All you need to do is click on live, and now you're back to the live data source rather than using the extract. And so that brings us to the end of the video, but the question still remains. Do you use a live connection or do you use an extract? And the answer is, it really does depend. If you have data that is updating very regularly and you need to pull that through instantly, then a live connection is probably the way to go. But if you've got a data set that updates less frequently and you can wait each day to pull through that new information, then if you switch to an extract, you're definitely going to see an improvement in the speed of the rendering of your dashboards. Hopefully that was useful. If it was, please do let me know in the comments below. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and I'll catch you in the next video.